out there who are real men, who are strong, because it's a weak man's mentality to feel like that towards a strong woman, because he is incapable of leading a woman who can think for herself. Because if you can't sustain a certain amount of intelligence, then you're going to be intimidated. So it's unfortunate that some people feel like that, but do not fall for that, because a lot of women who are bosses, or a lot of women who have good careers, absolutely is ready to just breathe. Like, we tired of this. We want to live in our femininity. If you don't like me, and I don't need you, you don't have to like me. You don't have to like me. You don't have to like me. 'Cause I love me so much. You don't have to like me. I know that's right. I know that's right. Welcome to a week in my life. A couple days before Hanukkah, I decorated a little bit in my apartment. I do yearn to be able to do this with my own family someday, but I still do it to keep myself in spirits and in preparation to be a Proverbs 31 type woman. I'm going to go ahead and try to read Proverbs 31 in 1 minute. So, the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him. What, my son, and what, the son of my womb, and what, the son of my vows. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyed kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest they drink and forget the law, and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink unto them that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. Let him drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Open thy mouth for the dumb, in the cause of all such as are appointed unto destruction. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Shalom, y'all. I am about to cook with a little gift my mom gave me. I ended up, since it was around this time, I wrapped it up so I could be able to have a little gift to unwrap. She bought me a crock pot because mine's broke. It's Ninja. It has several different features of cooking. I want to put, they say use the sear and saute feature for meat, right? Yep. I'm starving. It's set at high. It's preheating, and process bar will display while preheats will possibly. Goodness gracious, it take 8 to 10 minutes to preheat. Season of short ribs. Well, I already have my meat seasoned. I'm making some turkey wings. Turkey wings and gravy over rice, peas and carrots, and then some candy yams. So yeah, I'm gonna use some of this. I was wondering why it wasn't working. Oh. I'm excited. I'm burning. Okay, so I forgot my fresh seasoning in my turkey. So I'm gonna go ahead and add this. Why is this? It says high, and I had it on. I don't want it on slow cook. All right. So this is celery and green bell pepper. I think that's enough. And then I have onion and garlic. So this is also going to make my gravy. So it's going to be highly seasoned. Is this enough? Also, y'all, I use more fresh seasoning than powder sometimes. Like if I know I'm using a lot of fresh onion and garlic, then I won't add additional powder onion and garlic. But I did pre-season it in my Cajun seasoning that I made myself in sage. I did not put any salt yet. Now this is actually cooking pretty fast. I wish I had some citrus. I like to add a little lemon juice or orange juice. I'm gonna just go ahead and put all of this in there. And then also I wanted to add some red pepper. So I have some dry red pepper I'm gonna add. Okay, so as I stir it, it's starting to break a little bit, so it's done. I like that it automatically turns off when I take the food off. So I'm adding my salt. Yo, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant ships. She bringeth her food from afar. She rises also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field, and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planted a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She laid her hands in the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates, when he sitteth along the elders of the land. She make fine linen and sell it, and deliver girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She opened her mouth with wisdom, and her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children riseth up and call her blessed. Her husband also, he praises her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellence them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Most High, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hand, and let her own works praise her in the gate. I just love that entire chapter, and I wanted to recite that to set the tone for the discussion of submission. Shalom, my lovelies. I have wind down for the Shabbat. It is also Hanukkah, so I'm in my room. I don't have any Hanukkah decorations in my room, of course, but I decided to decor for some presentation. I told myself this will be my first week of vlogging. However, I did not vlog. I only vlogged my cooking section, was technically isn't vlogging, I guess, but maybe I'll officially start next week, make this a separate video and make that my intro, or make this my first week. I don't know. I don't even know how this vlog is going to go this year round, because I'm actually even more so, I'm not even gonna say I'm not in the mood, because I'm never in the mood to air myself out, but I did commit to showing how a modern, modest, devoted woman in Torah lives for 7 weeks out of the year at the least. So with that being my commitment, it's not a vow, but my commitment that I made in agreement to, this vlog, which the person I agreed to do it with, not doing it, but ultimately I agreed to do it for the Most High. So just showing, my lifestyle in Torah. So each year I show something different. My first year it was more showing the community. Second year showing, my life, how I follow his way, but also be a nurse. And I think this year may just be focused on just highlights of my cooking, of my beauty regimens, and of my growth, I guess. Maybe some outings here and there, I don't know, but we shall see. I definitely don't think I'm going to focus on doing every day, but I will do the 7 weeks. And for those who don't know, the 7 weeks is not necessarily 7 consecutive weeks, but I promise 7 weeks. So it may be every other week or every week. So with that being said, I do have a topic for Shabbat that I want to touch on, and that is submission. Something I want, something I've been wanting is marriage. Since I was a freaking child, I've always dreamed about marriage, my husband, my family, my kids, my house, all of that. Dream world for a woman, and I am still waiting. But I wanted to touch on this topic because, one, I am, we are forever working on ourselves, period. But I'm still working on myself, trying to make myself the best me for the type of man I want. And then also, two things. I feel like, for one, as the topic has been for the haters who, some women like to try to play on a single woman if they're in a relationship and make it seem like that's why you don't have the man. Even men do this too, but I don't, and although I'm not happy with that or content with that, I understand it. And I understand it because I know I have morals, values, and standards that, others may not have. So the same people that may say that, who are in relationships or who is a guy, is the same type of relationship or guy I wouldn't be with. So you don't offend me when you say that. I have been caned for several times. Once on this platform, my little platform, and I would imagine as it grows, people would even more so try to come for me, especially Israelites, because we do understand. We don't believe in this modern feminist world where women supposed to be independent. We do appreciate, the traditional roles of men and women, and the ultimate, glory of life is being able to procreate and give back to a legacy. If you cannot do that because of scientific reasons, then that's between you and the Most High, and what the Most High have for your calling, which also maybe mine. I will be extremely saddened to discover if the Most High don't have somebody for me, but I highly, I'm still in belief, I'm still trusting, and still holding on to faith that the Most High is just saving me for somebody extra special, just like me. There just have not been a man I have met yet that I am like, oh my goodness, I want to be with him. There have been men that I wanted to get to know to see if that's the case, but never met nobody, so I have no regrets for no one in my past. I'm not walking into no relationship with no baggage from somebody else. The last person I was trying to get to know asked me multiple times, like, who hurt you in the past, the way you feel the way you feel. No particular person, but I've learned, I'm the type of person to learn lessons. I've learned lessons from my parents, one, before I even, completely grew up. And then I've learned lessons from others. And then, of course, the lessons I've learned along the way in my own experiences. To this day, I would say I haven't experienced true love. I, never had the opportunity to see and feel what that feels like, but when I do, baby, So, my definition of submission, or my intake, my understanding of submission, these are just things I had these on notes around, and I looked at this as I was like straightening up for Shabbat, and I'm like, ooh, let me make this the thing I close out this week with, because like I said, I didn't give y'all anything, so I added on to it. But these first couple or maybe 3 is just things I've had hanging around on notes to myself for myself / future husband, I guess. I don't know. I be writing to myself, and I talk to myself sometimes too. Anyways, how can I be a wife to a man who submits to the Most High if I don't submit to the Most High? So, I feel like to be able to determine what a man of God really is and not a fraud, I have to truly be a woman of God. Like, how I'm going to be able to discern what's real and what's not if I'm not real. Yah protects me, He provides for me, He comforts me, and He sharpens my iron. So I'm not going to expect, well, definitely less, because no one is going to amount to the Most High. But I'm not, for lack of better terms and for literal metaphoric purposes, I'm not going to expect anything less. Like, if the Most High is providing me this, and I know my relationship with the Most High is genuine, not fake, because who, Lord forbid, I'm so tired. I'm so tired of these fake worldly women, or halfway in the truth and halfway in the world, or halfway in Christianity and halfway in the world type women. Ones who just want to claim they believe in God but really don't. It's really a disgust to true God-fearing women when they claim to be daughters of God. Because to be a daughter of God, it takes a certain type of devotion, obedience, and submission. And then here you have women half naked and promoting sex, talking about they love God, or they daughters of God, or they were chosen by God, or they picked their, like, wish God. Matter of fact, yeah, wish God, because there's the little g gods. I'm a god too. Like, we all gods, if you want to put it that way. gods could be anything. You can make your own gods. There's millions, trillions of gods in this world that was made throughout the centuries, decades, ancient times, Lord, till now. So, you know, maybe I'll give you that, but don't, like, majority of people is taking that as the, you know, true and living God, right? And it's like, it's a disappointment. It is a disgrace. It is a no. It is, I don't know what else to say. For women like this.
My real friend is God. Right. So me and him right here, we know when we gonna get there.
Wi-Fi connected.
We connected. So like, I'm not even really eager to be in places that I'm not invited. Ooh. If I'm not invited, I'm not supposed to be there. And that's okay. You ain't no city girl, you a shitty girl, and your man wanna come to the coochie world. Hey, 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 shit.
Be paid to me. I promise you, you're going to get a day in your life that you're gonna be on your fucking knees asking yourself, damn, why am I going through this? What did I do that I'm going through this shit? And you wanna know what? And you wanna know something? The image of my face is gonna come up in your mind. You're gonna go through shit because you with me. And you wanna know why? It's not because I'm a fucking witch, like y'all make a scene because I'm Dominican, y'all think I'm doing black magic. No, bitch. It's because I'm fucking anointed. Bitch, no, I'm really one of God's kids. You wanna know why I'm really one of God's kids? You wanna know how I know I'm anointed? Let me tell you how I know I'm anointed, right? Because you know how many strippers are in America, in the world? You know how many strippers are in America? You know how many bitches have a fat ass? You know how many bitches can rap? And God chose me!
I've been having these weird feelings lately, and that's kind of why I didn't want to do this song, Shake It, or like any drill songs, because it's like these songs are activating like these demons that I killed. I don't want to be that girl anymore. Like I just want to be a mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be that old Cardi anymore.
And this is sad. Claim to sell their souls is they oftentimes change their mind and they don't want to live this life. And where are they going to go to get free? Where are they going to go to get deliverance? The church doesn't preach it. Christians don't preach it. So they don't realize that they get trapped in this life. And she's like, man, I just want to be a mother. I want normal life. I don't want to be this person anymore. And then again, she deleted this right after. But to me, this is a cry for help.
If you know about the Canes, that you know.
I don't know if she said, I feel like getting a king. If you know about the king, you know. Or she said Cain.
I don't want to be that anymore. I want to be a mother. This song is activating demons that I locked away a long time ago. And it's coming back again.
To say, to claim, like you folks claiming, like just imagine you claiming a man who don't claim you. God not claiming that. God is not claiming that. He never did, and he said he don't change. So you're delusional. Now, don't get me wrong, for my worldly women or my Christians who may be watching, you know, I can respect certain people, right? Angela, Black China, I definitely can respect her growth, her process. You can clearly see it in her brand is no longer what it used to be. You cannot claim that and then still push this. Like, no, you're not. So I'm one of those people who was extremely excited about 2024 being the year of truth, and I'm praying that 2025 it continues and so forth on. Like, the remnant is narrowing down and people are truly, you know, wanting connection with authenticity again and with honesty again. Like that, I feel like honesty has been a long lost, definition, along with loyalty, love, and a whole bunch of other genuine definitions that doesn't mean what it really is supposed to mean anymore. But I think I'm going a little bit too far left. Yeah, let me pull it back together. Another little note I wrote to myself was trust in the Most High with all my heart and lean not on my own understanding. And all my ways acknowledge the Most High and He will direct my path. I wrote that one to myself because it is tough. It's discouraging. It's hard. It's a challenge. It's all of the above when waiting, when choosing to wait on my husband. Like, I'm not going to deny that, but I feel like the reward is going to be so worthy. Even before knowing who he is, in my past, I'm not doing that anymore. The past thought society teaches you to, just live your life, have fun, yada yada yada. And if that's fun to you, that's fun to you. But for me, it's not. So I'm not going to make a substitute, or what do you call it? What word I'm looking for? Not replacement, but a placeholder, I guess, in my husband's place until I wait for him. Like that no longer makes sense. At once upon a time, it did make sense to me, but knowing what I know now, that no longer makes sense to me. Like, why would I do that to my husband? I'm waiting for a mighty man. My placeholder is becoming a better woman. Also, I have put, okay, so why submission is so important to me. I have to put my whole life in. Hear me out before my ladies who's not in this real life, or may not be a Muslim or a traditional Christian. Hear me out. Wait to the end. For me, submission is me putting my life in my husband's hands. So matter of fact, even in this way of life, because I've heard a elder tell me I shouldn't be thinking like this. But I mean, whether we like things or not, scripture says what it says, and I'm gonna accept what order is. However, I'm just gonna move carefully. This is the reason why I move carefully. So I have to put my life in my husband's hands, right? For example, if a major life decision has to be made, the end decision is going to be up to my husband. So it is important for me to choose someone who's going to consider my wisdom, trust my wisdom enough to consider my suggestion and point of view in the decision, right? But also whether or not he takes because considering it don't mean he's going to take my decision or not, or my opinion or not, but whether he takes it or not, I can surrender, or I have to surrender and know that whatever decision he does make is the right decision under the Most High. So I have to know that he will make a final decision that is wise, beneficial to all, not just himself. But some men is very selfish, and I'm being careful about that. So not just for himself, but all. So all meaning him, me, and whatever children we have. That he makes the safest decision. He makes a godly decision, the decision based on Torah and the Most High, light ways, laws, statutes, and commandments. And then he has good discernment. That has been hard. That has been hard. A lot of men, they're going on wanting a woman to look up to him as God. Like, no, you're not God. You are the head of our household. So someone who is humble, meek, where it needs to be. Cause humble and meek don't mean a pussy. Like, it don't mean he a whole out here. Like, it means he humbled himself to the Most High. And he's not, hot-headed and, just outrageous. Anyways, yeah, somebody I can trust with that. Like, that's extremely important to me. My endeavors and priorities are next to his. So, again, hear me out. I know a lot of women is not gonna agree with this, but as a helpmate, the Most High put us on this earth to be a helpmeet to mankind. So even women who, again, if you are unable to have children later on, I'm going to read where Adam, where he says that, and maybe I could be corrected later by someone who understands the language a little bit better. Right now I use the Strong's Concordance, but that term meant mankind. So you can be a helpmeet to homeless, the poor, the orphans, the fatherless, the motherless children, people in need, homeless. Oh, I say that. But anyways, my endeavors and priorities are next to my husband's. So I have a lot of what I want to do in life. Like, I feel like, baby, look, when I get married, if he's not already rich, if he already rich, baby, I'm gonna quit soon as we ASAP. But if he's not already rich and we still gotta build, I do not plan to work when I am raising my children. I want to raise my children. I want to pour into and train them and lead up the legacy. And unless I have to. And with that don't mean, because I don't understand why I be so misunderstood. Like, people is just, God dang, like, whew. I don't understand why people can't put two and two together. If I'm already a poet and a nurse, a poet and a artist, and an artist who sell her art, I may not be selling it like I want to, but I have sold my art, and I may not put as much into my art career as I want to, but I do put into my art career. When I don't have to give so much full time to a nursing career, I am absolutely going to give more to my art career, and I have full faith in my art career. So with that, I'm going to be making money. I also have other endeavors that's not for nobody else to know. But I'm definitely gonna be a modern housewife. A modern housewife. Matter of fact, I used to say that. That's a lie. Proverbs 31 was still a hustler. Like, I would think, like, what I would consider a Proverbs 31 is what I say a modern housewife is. So, yeah, I believe in being a Proverbs 31. So I'm gonna still have hustle in me. I'm still going to, get my own, but my own is going to go to certain things. Unless my husband falls sick and can't, my legacy is going to, my means of finances is going to the legacy of children, and then the fun stuff. So with my hustle, as a helpmate, if my husband needs me to do something, Lord forbid, because I'm kind of gonna expect him to be his own hustler. Like, I'm not gonna have to, hopefully won't have to be his assistant. But if he need me for anything, or for his business, I'm gonna have to, do that and then continue on with mine after. And then also house chores, cooking, and the kids come first, and then I'm going to have to handle mine. So with that, I have to consider, is he going to be a man who's going to abuse that understanding? Is he going to be a man who's going to want to, because some men don't want to see their woman have, some men don't want to see their woman, be great. Some men be hating. I say in my other videos, some men be, men could be envious towards and hateful towards their own woman. No, it's important for me to be able to discern that type of man and not, choose that type of man, because I know what I have to offer. I know who I am, and if that type of man, that's spiritual vampire energy, that you're not about to drain me and take advantage of me because you're a whole out here. Like, if someone can appreciate that thought in a woman knowing, I'm first your helpmeet, and then I'm gonna handle mine, and then allow me to do that, then yes, that's important. That's definitely important to me. And then also, I kind of already said this, uphold his legacy. So it's mine too, but I'll only say his because he has seed, so it's more so his, but it's mine also. But it's important to pick someone who's even worthy of upholding his legacy. Like, are you even concerned about a legacy? So definitions. Do I want to say this here? Before I get to definitions, I want to say, because people would definitely make it seem like, especially as I mentioned, the jealous men or the envious men, or men who kind of hating on the fact that they can't have you. They will make it seem like you're the problem. I don't get this much. Most of the times men would admit that they messed up. But I've recently had a case where a man, and he just gonna lie on a situation, and I kind of wonder about another one, but he's just gonna lie about the situation and make it seem like I'm argumentative. I feel like this is a problem in this unfortunately misogynist way of life, where if any woman actually knows scripture and is going to ask questions, they, try to belittle you by saying you're argumentative. And it's crazy because from my knowledge, an argument is when you are, yelling at someone and, y'all fussing and fighting, and, an argument is not someone actually trying to get an understanding. And the fact that you cannot show me that understanding in scripture, now I am argumentative. Like, so I want to say, because I do feel like whether in this way of life or not, a lot of men look at women who can hold their own as a woman who wants to be a feminist or independent and don't need a man. And that's so unfortunate, because it's not true for all women. Like, men out there who are real men, who are strong, because it's a weak man's mentality to feel like that towards a strong woman, because he is incapable of leading a woman who can think for herself, because he can't. If you can't sustain a certain amount of intelligence, then you're going to be intimidated. So it's unfortunate that some people feel like that, but do not fall for that, because a lot of women who are bosses, or a lot of women who have good careers, absolutely is ready to just breathe. Like, we tired of this. We want to live in our femininity. We are tired of this. But we're not going to just be able to submit to a man who's weak. And weak means not healed. You are argumentative or controversial and all of that, and then you try to flip it on the woman. Like, a lot of women who are intelligent and healed and spiritually divine and connected to the Most High, have their own relationship with the Most High, we are in tune with certain things. Like, we're not going to fall for your manipulative gaslighting, because we can call it out and that makes you angry. Like, it's crazy. Like, that's like, it roots back to healing. Like, the amount of people in this world that is not healed is hard. It's really hard. But we want, like, spiritually mature, mentally mature men who know how to have a conversation. And the reason why I know it's not I hate to say this because I don't want to sound like, I can hold accountability where accountability needs to be held, but I know it's not me, because I've held conversations with men who had a calm spirit, and it didn't turn into a little bit more of me having to be more assertive or firm. Because I will admit, I'm passionate, so I will be a little bit more assertive and firm, and my tone will change. But as far as my voice, my volume changing, yelling, stuff like that, no, I don't have time for that. But I really don't even have time for my me getting to the point of my tone changing and all of that. And I always feel like it's a debate, like, on conversations I have to have when it comes to bettering ourselves, or being diligent in the word, or trying to sharpen each other's iron. Like, I don't have time for that. But yeah, moving right along, definitions. So in Genesis 16 verse 9, I'm going to use that definition. However, there's many other terms, many other definitions used for the term submit in scripture. Many different, I don't even know what the Strong's called, the numbers are called, but there's different numbers, but I'm going to use 6031 from Genesis 16 verse 9. The angel of the Most High said unto her, which referring to Hagar, return to thy mistress and submit thyself into her hands, Sarah's hands. Again, that is 6031, Anath, which means humble, to exercise gentleness. There's other words that it meant, but I'm going to point out those for the sake of submitting. Is not a degrading thing when done right. Even a man could submit to a woman, but in a different way, which the dictionary definition can justify. So submission, according to the dictionary that I just googled, means to accept, to yield to a superior force. So of course the man is the superior force, or to the authority or will of another person. So let's just say a wife is good at certain things. That man submitting to her leadership at what she's good at is a form of him submitting. So let's just say the most extreme and the most least definition. Let's say the woman is good with gardening, and the husband have to submit himself to enable to be able to learn. If he want to get his hands in the garden, let's say he's interested in that, and he want to get his hands in the garden, you're going to have to submit yourself to be able to listen to this woman, let her lead you, let her teach you how to garden, like, period. Even the children, she deals with the children more than you do, but you have a situation where you're trying to get through to one of your children that you can't get through to, but she understands that child more than you do. It may hurt, you may not like it, but if you want to get through to that child, someone who genuinely want to do that may have to swallow a pill, ask his wife, what's the best approach, or whatever, in order to deal with that child. And in that moment, he's submitting to the lesson his wife has to teach him in order to get through to the child. The other situation, I just threw that one in, but the other situation may be, let's say the woman, a man and woman meet each other. The woman is the breadwinner. However, she is willing to teach the man what she knows to become the breadwinner. That man may have to submit to her teachings, to her, strategy, to her, power. And it's unfortunate, it's just the words people don't like. Like, who cares about that? I never understood that. But you may have to submit to what she know in order to get where you gotta get. Like, what's wrong with that? So if you're strong enough in who you are, you will know it's a beautiful thing, and it will turn to an even more so beautiful thing. Just like submission, women who don't like the word submission, like submission to your husband is a beautiful thing. Is submission to God a beautiful thing to you? So in God, we can't touch God, we don't see God, none of that. Like our husbands is important to me. Like I read in this, is like our head, our leader on earth, our Lord. And it's back in the ancient days, people used to go around saying my Lord. Today we say my King. Same thing. We don't like the term submission, but it is what it is. Like, it don't have to be a depressing thing if you pick right. Because yeah, if you pick wrong, then someone can take advantage of that, misuse it, abuse it. But that's why it's important to choose right. Now, before I go forward, by no means am I trying to teach nobody how to submit to a husband. I don't have one. I'm just saying what I'm going to do and why I'm waiting and still don't have a husband. Why I have not met no one worthy of me submitting to yet. That's what this video is about. And anyone else out there who may be on the same type of time while they're still waiting to find their husband and can relate to this video. But as far as my experience and me and what submission means to me and why I am still waiting for my husband, that's what this is about. Not me trying to teach nobody about submitting to their husband. Another that, you know, I do understand I ain't got no husband. If you got your husband, it's not about me trying to, that's not my place. What I'm saying is what I'm looking for and what I view as submission. So, scriptures, prophets. This is my song. So this is the thing about, I guess, the live session. It don't have to be so formal. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Let's get it.
Alright, so the prophets, he really in Hosea chapter 2 verse 16, he says, and it shall be at that day shall the Most High that thou shalt call me Ish, that is Strong's H37:6, which means a man or a male person, a fellow, often used as husband. Take note, high emphasize fellow. And she'll call me no more Ba'i, Baali, which is Strong's H1180, coming from H1167, meaning my master. And when I checked, hopefully I'm checking the right Strong's, they only use this term once in scripture, so clearly the Most High don't go around even calling himself our master, but he is our master. When it comes to men and women and the misogyny, I feel like they, take something and 1 inch, take a mile, and go too far, abuse it, and yeah. But even with this scripture, why I emphasize fellow, one time I heard someone say a marriage is not a partnership. Whew. Like, y'all just wanna do the most with this, right? Y'all just wanna do the most. Marriage is absolutely a partnership. When McDonald's or other large corporations partnership with other corporations, it doesn't mean that other corporation necessarily have equal share. It doesn't mean that corporation now rule over them. It doesn't mean that corporation is 50-50 or the same, has the same leadership with them, right? So same as marriage. Like, just because a wife is their husband's partner does not mean she is the same as her husband. And to try to take away that it's a partnership or a lot of other things that the men try to do or say who are misogynists, it just tells me a lot about the mentality and what I don't want to be a part of. But a fellow is a peer. Like, you're not God. You're my leader, you're my head, but you're not God himself. Again, Lord, who some men also like to abuse. Lord means, as we would say in today's time, king. When wives call their husband my king. Like, a lot of men back then was, or even not just wives, other brothers call another man, they might greet them, what's up, king? What's up, king? How you doing, king? Like, back in ancient times was, my lord. But some people just weird. It's just a weird energy. I just can't. But Ish was also used in Genesis 6 verse 9. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just man. Again, H376. And perfect in his generation. And Noah walked with the Most High. So I pointed that one out just to show that Ish is not only used for husband, but man, just like wife was technically not in scripture. People don't pay attention to content either. Just like a man could call another man king, a man call another man my man's. Like, a lot of men be like, yeah, that's my man's. Like, same thing. Also prophets in Jeremiah 3:20. I used this in a poem. Surely as a wife treacherously depart from her husband, so have ye treacherously depart with me, O house of Israel. So we departed from the Most High like a wife may depart from a husband wrongfully. I pointed these two out to point out the fact that the Most High view us as his wife. The children of Israel is the Most High's wife. He is our husband. So including mankind, again, you know, the word man, H376 can also mean mankind. The Most High consider us his wife, and he is our husband. So to me and many other women, there's other women out here, I've seen viral videos of women saying pretty much the same thing. You know, it's hard for, the reason why it's harder for a black woman to submit to their man is because our men not godly. Our men don't submit. How we gonna submit to someone who don't? We are naturally a godly people. We are naturally spiritual people, and in order to be able to submit ourselves to a man, that man has to be a godly man. Like, it literally makes sense. I'm starting to really understand why it's going to be 7 women to 1 man at some point. Not now, because people like to, again, take things out of context. But a lot of these men not going to make it. A lot of these men is not going to make it to the kingdom. It's going to be more women who make it. And so to balance that out, and again, I still believe that may not necessarily mean 7 wives. It may be sisters, cousin, mom, you know, whatever, grandchild, granddaughter. But, you know, also it can mean multiple wives. But it's going to be that, because the balance of righteous men to righteous women is not happening. It's not here. It's not. So it's gonna have to go back to the days of Noah, where we gotta reprocreate. And in order to do that, and then starting over, yeah, I can also see why we coming with our own. You know, don't worry about that. As a helpmeet, I'm here. I'm here with what I have. I just want to be under your covering, your protection. So back to the script. You, my father. Hey, hey. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the Torah. I skipped over this, but I was supposed to say this first. Genesis and Exodus mainly is some scriptures I want to point out. So in Genesis chapter 2 verse 18, and the Most High say, is not good for a man to be alone. Man is H120. Oh, that was different man than each. Okay, so this man, the other man was each. This man is Adam. Rudy, a human being, an individual species, mankind. Should not be alone. I will make him a helpmeet, and helpmeet is H5828. Ezer, which comes from H5826, which means to aid, to help for him. So the same word is used in Psalms 33 verse 20. Our soul wait for the Most High. He is our help and our shield. I'm gonna wait. And then again in Deuteronomy 33 verse 20, there's none like unto the Most High it is none like the Most High who ride upon the heaven in thy help, in his excellency in the sky. So the Most High is referred to as our helpmate, our help. many a times. I wanted to point this out because, again, trying to abuse the definition. A helpmeet is a beautiful thing. It is a gift from God. You won't appreciate your gift from God, that's gonna be a problem to you. Like Betty White said, baby, the Most High, He sees.
You see, God is gonna bless me for loving you, for all the times that you treated me wrong and I kept being true. You see, God's eyes, they're not closed. He's not asleep. Said He is watching every move you make, every secret you keep. Boy, you better be careful. Said if you treat me bad or make me sad, my Father in heaven is watching you. But I still
He sees. I may not agree with her lyrics and what she was pushing, but I still feel it. Like, the Most High see how you treat your wife, especially if she's a good one. Especially if she's a good one. Don't abuse your gift from God. Like, God gave you help. Like, not a slave. Help. Ooh, child. And again, this is an issue, period. Not just in this way of life, but in the world. Unfortunately, you know, there's men who just get, I don't know, intimidated by the woman's ability to uplift and uphold and upgrade. Like, but that's supposed to be a beautiful thing. Like, why wouldn't you want that? I don't understand that. Why wouldn't you want someone who would sharpen your iron? But if you know what, you don't want it because you don't want to grow. You don't want to be better. You don't want to, you know, your iron to be sharpened, and you don't want that challenge. You don't want that challenge of a woman who's going to put you on the spot with the Most High. Like, look what Moses' wife did. Suppose he was one of those men who feel like, oh, you argumentative, then his children would never got circumcised. Okay. Also, Genesis chapter 5 verse 15. Until the woman, he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy consumption. So this is our punishment. The purpose of me of bringing this up, child, for one, I definitely feel it. But for two, for the women who like to feel like, well, who put man above women and we are equal and yada yada yada. If you believe in God, because if you don't, then we have no argument here. But if you believe in God, or even science, because as a person who also believes in science, you know, our anatomy and physiology don't hold up to a man, period, no matter how much we want to deny it or not. It has shown when the LGBTQ community has joined women's sports and now kicking women's behind in women's sports, and now we want to complain. Like, so my purpose of these scriptures is to define the role of a helpmeet, the gender roles of a man and a woman in scripture, and what I still believe. I know we live in a totally different time, so people do not go by these gender roles anymore, but I absolutely believe in gender roles, and these are the scriptures I refer to define what gender roles mean. So I do believe it is a woman's role to, you know, help her husband. And then Genesis chapter 3 verse 15, and to the woman he said, I will greatly multiply your sorrow. In thy conception in sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be unto thy husband. I actually did not finish writing that. I put it here. Thy desire will be unto thy husband. And desire is H8669, which comes from 77, or rooted from 7783, a sense of stretching out after or longing for, which in desiring, which is absolutely true. Many women desire their husband, and that is our curse. It also says the man will rule over us, so that is where, you know, the sense of the husband is the head of the household comes from. But what comes with that, the man's curse is to work the land, which in turns translates to today be the breadwinner. Exodus 21:10 will be parallel to that. If he take him another wife, her, meaning the previous wife, the first wife, or the wives that came before the new addition, food, remnant, H3682, which means covering, garment, veil, and duty of marriage, H5772, which means to dwell together in or sexual habitation, should not be diminished. Pointing out, because a lot of people, you know, who may disagree. Look, my thing is, whatever you want to do, that's what you want to do. But other people's definition, you cannot force your belief onto someone else. So my beliefs come from scripture, and clearly the duty of marriage is a man should cover a woman and protect her, and provide. And that's why it is, you know, hard. It's innate in us to, you know, be that order. That's why it's hard for a woman to provide for a man and submit to him as well. You know, a lot of times divorce statistics shows when, you know, there's financial issues, and majority of the time the financial issues come from the man not being able to provide. When there's financial issues, there's issues in the marriage. You know, it is unfortunate today, especially in the black community, which, you know, I do agree with working with your man and things like that, but there's the difference with the man trying and the man, you know, aiming, have a mission and aiming towards that mission, or have a goal aiming towards that goal, whereas a man who just flat out, you know, providing is a no, 50-50 is a yes. Like, no. Again, whatever works for someone else, it works for them. But as far as me and many other women who want to rest in their full femininity and be authentic and real and genuine about it, and not fake like we are happy with, you know, having double jobs, because it is a job to be a homemaker. Being a homemaker, cooking, you know, you gotta pay chefs, right? You gotta pay maids, right? You gotta pay, you know, teachers for educating your child, right? So you want a homemaker, someone who's gonna build on your legacy and make the home and all of that. That is a job. So for a woman to work that job, then also have to work for someone else's legacy, there's double working. So it's hard for a woman to do both. And, you know, we wonder why the dynamics, why women be having this, you know, automatic attitude, because we overworking ourselves. You know, I'm saying we in general. Anyways, so some proverbs in other books. Proverbs 12 verse 4. A virtuous woman is a crown, but she that maketh a shame is as rottenness in his bones. So a virtuous is probably a force, whether of men or means, or other resources. Strength. And then crown is honor, victory, reward of righteousness. So I pointed that out, to say the power of a woman. Again, a lot of men, particularly misogynist men, this can apply for traditional Christians, this can apply for Muslims, and also men in this way of life. They typically do be misogynist, and at the end of the day, I don't see that in scripture. I don't see the Most High defining the woman's role as the role people make it to be. These words, it's an honor. It's an honor, and men who have a virtuous woman uplift and praise her, and that's in Proverbs 31. Like, I don't see how someone who is truly righteous would misinterpret that and push that false doctrine. Anyways, Proverbs 14 verse 4, every wise woman build her house, literally and figuratively. H 11:29. She obtains her children, makes or repair, sets the home. So again, homemaker. But a foolish plucketh it down with her hands. So I pointed this one out because I do hear a lot men complaining about the fact that women aren't worthy. And unfortunately, I do see that a lot of women aren't worthy. In going back to how I feel about the clips of, the thought of these modern day city girl type women, it's really unfair to women who are truly God-fearing women that they are being the face of who women are. And not even just them, because that's like literally, a whole different type of woman, but even women who appear to be a little more good girlish, but at the end of the day, when you boil down to it, they really not. It's like, I guess it also goes back to being able to discern good character. I feel like if you're really a God-fearing person yourself, the Most High is not going to match you with somebody who's not truly God-fearing. But being a real God-fearing person who's actually diligent to the Most High is also extremely rare. So it's like Proverbs 25:24, better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a brawling woman, a woman who causes quarrel, discord, strife, contention. Is Strong's 4066, which comes from 1777. And in a wide house, so it's better to dwell in a corner of the housetop than with that type of woman in a White House. And a White House is H2266, a society, a spell, a charmer, enchantment. So it's better to be by yourself in a corner of a housetop than with a woman who disappears to be call herself being into witchcraft. I'm sure that probably can metaphorically mean something else, but let's just stick with the Strong's 2266, which says society, a spell, charm, and enchantment. And we really do have that a lot, which we also see in the clips. These women are clearly into that. Peers are into that. I've experienced it in my past, thinking that's what we were about. But again, discernment and innocence is one thing, but once someone know what they know and they want to ignore it, it's another thing, and you have a lot of that too. So Songs of Solomon 2 verse 16. My beloved is mine and I am his. He feed among the lilies. So I pointed this out for the partnership thing. A different person, but another brother pointed out that a man can never be for a woman, but a man can never be for a woman, yes, but a woman is for a man, yes. So I will say a woman can never own a man. A man can own a woman. And I just hear me out, women, before y'all cancel me. But for traditional meanings, our husband is our head, our provider, this, all of that good stuff. But I always say, even men who don't know, when when a man be like, who this for? Like, they want to hear that for you. Like, this mine. A man take pride in, this mine. Like, we are our man's possession. So in that way, however, it don't go the opposite way around. However, to me, she said, my beloved is mine and I am his. Like, when someone say that's my man or my husband, that's mine. Like, I feel like people get so strung up, some of these men get so strung up on just wanting to be so in control. Like, it's given, what are you lacking? Because you're so caught up on trying to make a point that you are the ruler, that you're not even, is giving you're definitely not going to lead right. Like, you're just going to lead based on trying to freaking control me. Anyways, Psalms 143 verse 8. Cause me to hear thy loving kindness in the morning, for in thee do I trust. Cause me to know the way wherein I should walk, for I lift up my soul unto thee. So this is in reference to King Solomon talking to the Most High, and he fully surrendered to the Most High. And that goes back to a lot of women cannot submit to a man who did not submit to a higher power, to an entity, because submitting means we're putting our full trust in you. We are trusting you with our entire life. The final decision with things, our wound. Like, for women who don't take just having babies by anybody lightly, like, I'm trusting you with my whole life, and also trusting you with who I am going to risk my life, because having a baby is risking I can die having a baby. I believe in you that much that I will risk my life in bringing forth your seed. Like, that's a lot for me. Like, I don't know about anybody else, but that's a lot for me. And I really, I do believe in choosing wisely, choosing a man of God, because if I can't trust that you truly submit to the Most High, I can't trust you. And that's period. Okay, my love, so I started working on this brownstone home, a historical home in New York. I've been wanting to start doing paintings of brownstones, like I do paintings of New Orleans historical homes, Creole cottages, shotgun houses, and I never did it. So I'm so excited that I finally started. I actually began by doing a little test warm-up drawing, and I think I actually like this drawing, so I may actually put it up for sale. But yeah, I didn't finish after Shabbat, so I decided to finish it the next day. I've been wanting to have a espresso martini and experience how an espresso martini tastes. So I decided, since it's Hanukkah and I do everything alone since I'm single, I figured, okay, I'll go out and finish the drawing and have me an espresso martini at a nice little lounge or something. I was looking for something in either Manhattan, but I wound up just going to Harlem like I always do. I actually went to this first place that was too overly crowded. I wasn't going to be able to sit down and draw there, so I went next door to this place that I was familiar with, and I am so happy I decided to go there, but you guys will see that later. I ran into an open mic when I went, so that was unexpected but just perfect for me and who I am. Just getting ready here. I'm doing my lip exfoliation with this lip scrub. I'm always biting my lips, so I have to do this lip scrub every now and then I moisturize it with this honey mask. I will put on lipstick later on, but right after the scrub I'm going to let this marinate. I'm going for red today. I love red in the winter, and for some reason I like my Burberry in the winter and some red bottoms. But yeah, of course, before I leave the house I say my prayer for safety, a safe coming and going. I do not wear shoes in the house, so I always take my shoes off when I come inside and put them on before I leave. I kind of like to pray without shoes on as well, as a respect to the Most High. That's not required to my knowledge, but I just personally do that because, you know, we're walking outside and all type of nastiness with our shoes on, so I do take my shoes off or pray before I put my shoes on. But yeah, I'm out the door again. I ended up going to this place that I actually used to go to years ago, but I never knew they had an open mic.
The new way where they do it. It's like if you go.
All right. How y'all doing? Y'all can do better than that. I said, how y'all doing? Now that sounds like life. Are y'all ready to get this shit started?
I grew up with 90s movies, sitcoms, and music, so it might be a surprise to hear the combinations of what I watch and listen to. See, Will showed me having the mindset of a prince. No matter what you're going through, can turn your life around and make it brand new. Can't forget Martin. Those shows is timeless, really top 1 and 2. They listed as comedies, but also mirror the importance of environment. Our family is your glue. Having one good woman is what's really cool, and all the good things that type of focus could do for you. But putting them both together taught me how a little static shock is not always terrible. You could be a bad boy with good intentions, so it's imperative to not always let systems make decisions for you. Even our colleagues showed me the right friends can make you victorious with a sweet life, and how magically the wrong kids next door or on your school bus could be what's stopping you. So I be hoping all my dogs got the courage to make it out their boondocks, have a little adventure time out the office and chase their dreams, but learn when to do it in silence like Tom and Jerry do. I swear I'm being fool. Out here escaping the matrix, looking for a safe house while hunting for goodwill like Forrest Gump do. Basketball trips to Indiana's where I got the Jones for learning by osmosis. And been on my pursuit of happiness since before I was in high school. No music, headphones in every day on my way to wherever I was going. Wayne had me dreaming big since I was a youngin'. No ceilings was my motivational tool. And Hope gave blueprints from his lifetime, how to live with regrets and being careful about who we friend or foe to you. Know some wise words to follow, cause add that with a little hard work, plus patience, dedication, and victory laps around the kingdom may come to you. But before you come up, you gotta warm up in order to hit them Friday night lights. And sometimes a quick smile and a story built from the sidelines.
My family calls my mom magic. Unknown how she takes something so small, a handful of flour, a dash of allspice, and turns them all into a heaven dusted special. This is all I can say. To say there is no poetry for how beautiful her cooking is. or how hard it was the first time she couldn't. One time, I watched a disease make mixing bowl out of her body. I watched her deflate as fast as yeast does when it is not given enough time to rise. Now, I still remember what a fall sounds like. I still remember how the body beats the ground when it is struggling to believe in its own breath. My mom is the best baker I know, but there is no cake that can cover up the smell of a hospital room. There is no shortcake that can settle the way sugar sits longer on the doctor's tongue. One time, my mom and all her magic could not come into the kitchen, so she stayed on the couch. That day, I tried to bake myself into a believer. I tried to cook my way into courage. I thought maybe if I could make this meal, it'll make her strong enough to survive the next day, and the next day, and the next day. I tried to make magic out of all of her bowls. I let my prayers scrape the bottom of her pans. I greeted the whisk the way a cautious tongue greets a new spoon with a food that is already learned to reject. I've learned it is hard to remember what love tastes like when magic cannot stay awake long enough to answer all of my questions. When memory is the only option. Recipes can tell me every ingredient, but they can't make me shake the thought of death sprinkled between stirring. That night, I was the most okay baker I know. But I was the daughter of a woman who makes magic out of all breads, whose soul can make me apologize for never thinking I could never do anything at all. So that night, I called myself chef, and I made meatloaf for the first time. I molded it in my hands, all alchemy between boxed recipe and handwritten notes, between a handful of diced onions and a dash of seasoning salt. I was a child then, but now I'm a grown woman, still dusted in all of her powdered prayers, still covered in her humility, and I'm standing in my own kitchen. And I'm trying to remember what I told her. She finally opened her eyes. She saw the magic I made so steamy on my spoon. It must have been something like, do you like it? It's not my best. I can do better. You can find me on Instagram at Simone Seas. That's the most important thing. That belongs to my mom. And I just got back from seeing her and being fed by her in North Carolina. I was like, I'm going to do any poem to my mama's poem. And it's actually never been recorded, so we'll see how this turns out. I was too nervous to do it in person, so anyways.
Contact with the horny strangers that walk amongst us with no intentions to love. Just get a good fuck. A good dick sucked. The taste of Kundalinius that brings that raps just as well as a nigga in rap songs. This industry is worth billions and outlasts generations, never going away. It will constantly win against any system that tries to block its energy. Priests have shown us why not to suppress yourself. Anyone who speaks against this prison will be looked at as a hypocrite, or if you can't acknowledge your desire, you will be looked at with a side eye like, for real? Trapping your body in a cell, creating a box of glass, when you know this country is free. For locked energy will always find a way to break free sex cells. I noticed that in life we can go through tribulations and pains. Things that shadow all the highlights of life's gains. Get to points we may not be all that satisfied with. A downward slump that stomps on gifts that we have, to reach out and show fellowship, be our true selves stepping forward with leadership, keeping the Most High first, knowing in times when you think there is no way out, that you must believe and have faith that there is a way. Pray and meditate on where you want to be, and find that quote that constantly whispers in your ears that this too shall pass. Moments in time when you are feeling hopeless and no less than human, you gotta hear that whisper that this too shall pass. Don't give up on life with constant self-destruction or thoughts of destroying self, dreams and goals. Know what nourishes your heart. Let it be on the up. Let love be in your heart, to be given and devoured. Rebuild like the Freedom Tower, and let the sun reflect on your pyramids. Let it reflect in your eyes. Let it shine through the memory of the skies, and let your faith in life keep your head optimistically high, flying with light. And that's the message behind that. I'm gonna share 3 more, all right? And then we get back to the open mic. Tap in, we do a poetry writing workshop, and I sell books there too for the open mic at Langston's Parlor every Saturday from 2 to 5 at Langston Hughes House in Harlem. So make sure you know, follow Rise Felicia. She's the facilitator, persona of a hustler. I wonder what is to become of this hustler I am. Imagine a Cinderella story of a homeless beggar accepting an Academy Award, begging for change on the train for my make-believe daughter, Davina, and my mother, Linda, in Mississippi. Not using them in degradation, but building their names up for upliftment. I am nothing without strong black woman who made me who I am. I come from the earth, the divine styles, the guerrilla urban bush subway poets, introduced himself on trains and system all over the world to try to break down the essence of what this beautiful thing is we call love. Where every poem I ever written lives and thrives and gets laughed at, enlightens, revolutionizing the minds of all the strap hangers and people who even suck their teeth when I arrive on the train. Ignorantly unashamed. I make a stage on these subway floors that I feel most comfortable on. And I've been doing it for so long that there is no stigma, no butterflies. I can't read my handwriting. And this is just natural. Just like how everyone is clocking in on their jobs. As I swipe my Metro card and bing bong, I'm on. This piece, I wrote this piece is from this book I got called Sea Walking by the Subway. Because when I was 19, I came out into New York City. I said, I'm about to move to New York. I told my people in California, I'm about to move to New York. And I had this photo of me, we do this walk called the Sea Walk in California in like late 90s and shit, and early 2000s. And my sister Ifa Modupe told me, she's all like, yeah, name your chapbook that. So that was my name of my first chapbook. It's called Sea Walking by the Subway. And there's a piece in there called African Wine. And I used to read this like when I was like 19 years old. I'm 42 now. I'm marketing our people back home. And I took a trip to Ghana in 1999, and I was watching that movie Belly, and at the end of the Belly Nas was like, I'm going to Africa, son. I was like, I'm about to go to Africa too. And that year, I manifested the night I watched that movie with my homie, and then that year I ended up going to Africa that summer. So be careful what you say. That changed my life. It inspired me to write this poem. So this piece is called African Wine. I would love to have a singer one day help me out, so if you could sing, please help me out. I've got my ticket, getting ready to go. I've got my ticket, getting ready to go. I've got my ticket, getting ready to go. Back to a land that is richer than any nation. I wanna go back home. I wanna go back home. I wanna go back home. I really, really wanna go back home to Africa. To Africa. Oakland, San Francisco, Vallejo, Sacramento, LA, Inglewood, Compton, San Diego, New Orleans, Houston, Detroit, Chicago, Atlanta, Las Vegas, Memphis, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Miami, Tallahassee, Lake St. Louis, Washington, D.C., Philly, New York, Manhattan, Queens, the Bronx, Staten Island, Brooklyn. This is not my home. This is foreign land to me. Can't you see that this is not our home? I want to go back home, not the home inside of me, but the home outside New York and D.C., across the Atlantic. Flying on my toes, running to the ground and singing, home, home sweet home. Rolling on the red dirt like Alabama mud cries, I rise and stand tall to all my ancestors, oppressors, and West African messengers of the devil. I really sing a song, like lift every voice and sing. Tangerine and magenta sunsets with moon rays of cobalt blue. Whoever knew that home would cherish my eyes. Struggle, struggle, struggle. My people are struggling. Why? Neglected by torn kinfolk and rapes of white men, fucking queen virgins of Nubian goddesses, agricultural innovations of strange fruit, blood-scarred backs of the baobab tree. Strip my goals up so I can't see. Why you fucking with me? What the fuck did I do? Jealousy of my melanin died with God's son, blackberry juice, and muscles stronger than any noose. Spiritually, you can't hold us down, cause we can get spiritual while putting our backs into it. Can you do it? No. So you must be jealous without a conscience. Why you fuck my life up and have me tripping the way I am? I wanna go back home. I wanna go back home. I wanna go back home to my own fucking land, so I can know who the fuck I am. And it may not happen in a year or 1,000, but you sure did get your 2 front teeth knocked the fuck out. And I ain't Taliban, so you ain't here for me. I ain't big, I ain't bad, I ain't no sleeping fucking giant, I ain't no eagle, I ain't no elephant, I So like I said, I'm a vendor on 125th Street. And I deal with a lot of shit on 125th Street as a vendor. This is called The War on 125th Street. So I think I wrote this just while I was doing the bookstore. Come see me, please come see me. And then here it goes. Red, black, green, fatigue. That was amazing. Thank you so much. I just want to say. You brought that 19-year-old me out like a way that I never even felt. That's crazy. Oh, and I'm 40. Wow. All right. The War on 125th Street. Red, black, green, fatigue drip. Take back that slave whip. African office monument built in the 70s. As Adam Clayton Powell Jr. statue steps up to its heights. It's 3:33 p.m. and the kids are on 125th Street strapped in uniforms, just like Africans, as deliverers, riding their bikes. Ghana mama selling her ginger juices, and I like mine with a little Henny, because anything is possible. Shit, give me an Emmy, Oscar, Grammy, I'll take that. Our stories are our history, bet on black. Take that back. House all my niggas in this gentrified slum. Build up a nation from going dumb. Let them know God like sky and sun. Have them doing good as kingdom comes and trumpets rings and bees protect the vendors strapped like they holding keys of cocaine, marijuana, hookers and pimps raise their fists to a black power blimp. Shit on big cops and simps, Uncle Toms, Karen moms, Lacoste, J. Crew, Banana Republic type folk. The government that ships in the dope. Nope. Don't fuck with them. Harlem World, baby, raises the best of them. Thorns that walk in lost pronoun wonders. Head high in Mecca, in the country of Black Yonia. Black on ya, where black people live. And fight. And stand up to all forces of oppression. Gentrification, penitentiary institution they try to keep enslaving us with. But little do they know, we prevail in the underground, and we rise when we recognize our rights. Oh, thank you so much. My name is The Divine Styles. I'm at The Divine Styles on IG. I'm also at Afro Filipino, AFROILLIBINO. I appreciate you tonight. I appreciate everybody that came on the stage tonight. You were all amazing. Everybody is a wonder. Always remember that. My mama always told me that, so I'm bringing that back to y'all. Everybody's a wonder. Peace and love.